street where asphalt cools and winter breeze without a word. Among the fallen autumn pools, the neon moves a fading blue. A lonely taxi turns away. I touch the space I save for you before the night becomes the day. Season turns its silent leaf, a cold wind drifting down the lane. I fold my hands around my grief and watch the shadows drift in rain. Hold the quiet in your tired chest, like a traveler seeking final rest. Even if the leaves have fallen down, your quiet steps still walk this town. Hold the phantom in the fading air, like a ribbon tied to empty hair. I don't make a sound, I leave no trace, just memory in an empty place. The pavement shines a silver frost, a river running through the night. I count the days we crossed and lost beneath the flickering amber light. The branches reach for empty skies, a natural rhythm in the chill. I see your gaze inside my eyes while all the city streets stand still. Season turns its silent leaf, a cold wind drifting down the lane. I fold my hands around my grief and watch the shadows drift in rain. Hold the quiet in your tired chest, like a traveler seeking final rest. Even if the leaves have fallen down, your quiet steps still walk this town. Hold the phantom in the fading air, like a ribbon tied to empty hair. I don't make a sound, I leave no trace, just memory in an empty place. If the earth should freeze beneath our feet and time forget the road we knew, I'll wait right here upon this street for nature just to bring back you. Maybe spring is just a distant lie, maybe winters have no end in sight, but every leaf that falls to die still brings you back to me tonight. Hold the quiet in your tired chest, like a traveler seeking final rest. Even if the leaves have fallen down, your quiet steps still walk this town. Hold the phantom in the fading air, like a ribbon tied to empty hair. I don't make a sound, I leave no trace, just memory in an empty place. Frosted glass, street lamps fade, you are gone in autumn shade. A thought interrupting silence, a sudden frost upon the pane. You sit across this empty table, as if you waited for the rain. The neon sign outside is blinking through winter branches old and bare. I watch watch you pull your collar tighter to keep away the midnight air. The heavy clouds begin descending upon the pavement, dark and deep, a quiet stranger in the shadows, while all the city falls asleep. Stay a little longer in the freezing chill, while the river runs so quiet and still. Even if the season turns to gray, your silent breath refuses to fade. Stay a little longer in this winter night, underneath the amber street lamp light. I do not ask you where you have to go when the winter wind forgets to blow. The coffee cup between your fingers is losing every trace of heat. A leaf is falling past the window onto the deserted concrete street. We share a glance without a greeting, like weary travelers in the dark. Two strangers caught in changing weather, with heavy shadows left to mark. The glass reflects a distant sorrow that neither one of us can name. The frost is creeping on the border, and neither season stays the same. Stay a little longer in the freezing chill, while the river runs so quiet and still. Even if the season turns to gray, your silent breath refuses to fade. Stay a little longer in this winter night, underneath the amber street lamp light. I do not ask you where you have to go when the winter wind forgets to blow. If time would pause this bitter evening, I would not ask you for your name. We only share the drifting weather until the morning brings the flame. Perhaps tomorrow brings the sunlight, perhaps the snow will melt away, but tonight we share the frozen silence. Let the quiet shadows stay. Stay a little longer in the freezing chill, while the river runs so quiet and still. Even if the season turns to gray, your silent breath refuses to fade. Stay a little longer in this winter night, underneath the amber street lamp light. I do not ask you where you have to go when the winter wind forgets to blow. Frost on the glass, shadows fade slow. You walk away into the snow. The sound from the street of a passing taxi tires, a slow drift of dust on the radiator grate. You left your ceramic cup half filled with water upon the wooden table by the porcelain plate. The curtains are swaying from a draft of autumn chill. A stray piece of lint caught inside the cotton thread. I count all the hours by the ticking of the clock, while staring at the empty pillow on the bed. I trace a thin crack in the window pane and watch how the night turns a shade of gray. The air in the room holds a trace of your scent before it dissolves and drifts away. Rest softly in the shadows of this quiet room, like twilight falling early in the month of gloom. Even if your footsteps left the hallway floor, your absence lingers quiet by the heavy door. Rest softly in the corner where the shadows fall, like daylight fading slowly on the plaster wall. I do not reach out, I do not make a sound. Your quiet presence still is waiting here unbound. A stack of dry letters tied with faded twine, a small fallen petal pressed between the leaves. The heater is clicking in the corner by the desk. Outside in the darkness, autumn wind relieves. A pencil is rolling on the varnished cedar top. A single gray feather resting on the chair. Every small detail of the room remembers you, though nobody answers when I speak into the air. I fold up a sweater that you used to wear and place it right back on the wooden shelf. The quiet of midnight settles heavy on the floor as I sit alone and talking to myself. Rest softly in the shadows of this quiet room, like twilight falling early in the month of gloom. Even if your footsteps left the hallway floor, your absence lingers quiet by the heavy door. Rest softly in the corner where the shadows fall, like daylight fading slowly on the plaster wall. I do not reach out, I do not make a sound. Your quiet presence still is waiting here unbound. If time could reverse like the hands on a dial, I would pause every second that brought you to view. One more quiet evening in the sheltered space before the season turned and took away your cue. Maybe every room is built to hold a ghost. Maybe every wall remembers who has stayed. Every dawning light that finds me sitting here watches all the traces of your memory fade. Rest softly in the shadows of this quiet room, like twilight falling early in the month of gloom. Even if your footsteps left the hallway floor, your absence lingers quiet by the heavy door. Rest softly in the corner where the shadows fall, like daylight fading slowly on the plaster wall. I do not reach out, I do not make a sound. Your quiet presence still is waiting here unbound. Dust on the table, leaf on the sill. You are gone, and the room is still. A silver leaf upon the glass, whispers of an autumn past. I watch the shadows shift and bend where the empty pavement ends. The neon signs begin to blur in the midst of what we were. A quiet chill upon the breeze, rustling through the maple trees. I trace the dust upon the sill, where time stands motionless and still. The midnight air is thin and cold, like an unread story left untold. Stay a little longer in this fading light, like a quiet shadow in the lonely night. Even if the season turns and slips away, your gentle presence chooses here to stay. Stay a little longer in the autumn rain, like a tender sorrow without any pain. I breathe you in and make no sound, while all the falling leaves touch the ground. A feather resting on the floor reminds me of a closing door. The river runs beneath the bridge, tracing every darkened ridge. The asphalt holds the heavy dew, reflecting shades of slate and blue. A single spark of amber fire fading from this quiet choir. I pull my collar tight and low against the wind that starts to blow. Your name is drifting in the air, a quiet truth that lingers there. Stay a little longer in this fading light, like a quiet shadow in the lonely night. Even if the season turns and slips away, your gentle presence chooses here to stay. Stay a little longer in the autumn rain, like a tender sorrow without any pain. I breathe you in and make no sound, while all the falling leaves touch the ground. If I could ask the wind to turn to where the embers slowly burn, I would trade the coming winter frost for just 1 hour of what we lost. Maybe petals fall because they must. Maybe iron turns to gentle dust. But every dawn that finds me here brings your quiet shadow near. Stay a little longer in this fading light, like a quiet shadow in the lonely night. Even if the season turns and slips away, your gentle presence chooses here to stay. Stay a little longer in the autumn rain, like a tender sorrow without any pain. I breathe you in and make no sound, while all the falling leaves touch the ground. Leaves upon the sill, the night is still. You are gone in the quiet dawn. What someone said yesterday still lingers in the breeze, a quiet word that drifted down between behind the Gingko trees. I watch you standing by the curb where yellow shadows play, and wonder why the season steals your gentle smile away. The asphalt holds the memory of footsteps in the dark, and autumn wind is cutting deep through every quiet park. Your coat is pulled tight against the late October chill, while every street lamp watches you upon the lonely hill. I keep my distance in the shade and watch you turn around. Your heavy breath is sinking down upon the frozen ground. I hold the silence with my palms and let the night descend, to watch the way a broken heart pretends it has an end. Stay a little longer in the autumn of your mind, like fallen leaves that nothing else can ever leave behind. Even if the season turns and takes your hand away, your quiet shadow in the street refuses to decay. Stay a little longer in the fading evening chill, like empty benches waiting by the river on the hill. I do not speak, I do not call your distant weary name, but all the autumn in this town is playing out the same. The alley lamps are flickering with tired amber light, as shadows stretch across the walls throughout the freezing night. I see you pause beside the glass of that old corner store, and drop your gaze into the dust upon the wooden floor. The river air is carrying a scent of burning wood, beside the bridge where we so many times before had stood. And every leaf that dances down upon your woolen sleeve still tells me of the reasons that you never wish to leave. I wear my quiet like a coat against the midnight frost, and trace the line of every single thing that we have lost. Your name is resting on my lips like dust upon a stone, as you walk down the avenue of autumn all alone. Stay a little longer in the autumn of your mind, like fallen leaves that nothing else can ever leave behind. Even if the season turns and takes your hand away, your quiet shadow in the street refuses to decay. Stay a little longer in the fading evening chill, like empty benches waiting by the river on the hill. I do not speak, I do not call your distant weary name, but all the autumn in this town is playing out the same. If I could freeze the bitter wind that blows across this lane, I would trade every memory for your warm touch again. more out beside your ghost, beneath the fading gray. One more lie that keeps the coming winter far away. Maybe the trees were never meant to keep their golden dress. Maybe the passing months are just a long and slow distress. But every dawn that finds me here beside the river wall still watches you refusing to let any autumn fall. Stay a little longer in the autumn of your mind, like fallen leaves that nothing else can ever leave behind. Even if the season turns and takes your hand away, your quiet shadow in the street refuses to decay. Stay a little longer in the fading evening chill, like empty benches waiting by the river on the hill. I do not speak, I do not call your distant weary name, but all the autumn in this town is playing out the same. What someone said yesterday still lingers in the breeze, a quiet word that drifted down between the Gingko trees. What someone said yesterday still lingers in the breeze, a quiet word that drifted down between the Gingko trees. I watch you standing by the curb where yellow shadows play, and wonder why the season steals your gentle smile. Smell in the air of turning frost upon the pavement where we crossed. You were so young and unaware of heavy seasons waiting there. I watch you walking through my mind, leaving your winter coat behind, a younger shadow in the chill that time refuses to fulfill. I write this letter to the ghost of what you needed to be most, before the bitter winter cold and turned your eager courage cold. Listen to the shadows falling deep upon the promises we tried to keep. Even when the valley turns to ice, I would pay the heavy price. Listen to the river underneath the stone. We walk these frozen alleys all alone. I do not shout, I do not call your name. The weather takes the blame. A sudden breeze of autumn rain knocking against the window pane. I see you standing in the dark beside the quiet riverside park. You held your future like a dove, untouched by sorrow or by love. If only I could reach right back and guide you from the midnight track. I button up my worn out coat and swallow down the heavy note. Your trusting eyes are hard to see through this dark glass of history. Listen to the shadows falling deep promises we try to keep, even when the valley turns to ice. I would pay the heavy price. Listen to the river underneath the storm. We walk these frozen alleys all alone. I do not shout, I do not call your name. The weather takes the blame. If I could touch your shoulder in the sleep, beneath the lanterns of the empty street, I would tell you not to fear the storm, or how long it takes to keep warm. Maybe every season must decay, maybe every blossom drifts away, but looking back through smoke and rain, I find you waiting in the pain. Listen to the shadows falling deep upon the promises we try to keep, even when the valley turns to ice. I would pay the heavy price. Listen to the river underneath the stone. We walk these frozen alleys all alone. I do not shout, I do not call your name. The weather takes the blame. Frost on the wire, shadows in the gray. You are yesterday, far away. A clock on the wall ticks out the hour. The floorboards are cold beneath my feet. I sit by the pane of glass so quiet and watch the slow shadows on the street. A potted fern on the cedar table is dropping its fronds upon the floor. Spring came and went without a whisper and left nothing behind us anymore. I touch the blind that covers the glass. The dust settles deep in the dim room. The season turns over in its sleep while I stay behind inside the gloom. Stay a little longer in the quiet air, like a falling petal clinging to a stair. Even if the blossom has turned to gray, your shadow still refuses to drift away. Stay a little longer in this gentle chill, like a slow river locked beneath the hill. I do not speak out, I do not make a sound, but all of your spirit is still around. A breeze through the screen stirs the curtain. The branches of pine tap on the frame. The night air carries a damp fragrance, and softly I breathe inside your name. A single cup sits upon the dresser, the porcelain cold where your hand used to rest. The seasons are changing their green coats while sorrow sits heavy in my chest. I fold up my hands upon my knees, the shadows stretch long across the floor. The clock keeps track of empty hours that open no path to any door. Stay a little longer in the quiet air, like a falling petal clinging to a stair. Even if the blossom has turned to gray, your shadow still refuses to drift away. Stay a little longer in this gentle chill, like a slow river locked beneath the hill. I do not speak out, I do not make a sound, but all of your spirit is still around. If I could keep the spring from passing, I would hide this room inside a shell. One more hour beside your quiet breathing, one more secret that I will not tell. Perhaps the wind was never ours to hold. Perhaps the seasons have their own design. But every dawn that finds me waking still leaves your cold hand inside mine. Stay a little longer in the quiet air, like a falling petal clinging to a stair. Even if the blossom has turned to gray, your shadow still refuses to drift away. Stay a little longer in this gentle chill, like a slow river locked beneath the hill. I do not speak out, I do not make a sound, but all of your spirit is still around. Dust on the glass, leaves on the floor. You are gone from behind this door. The texture of fabric upon the forsaken coat, a button half loose in the damp hand river breeze. She stands by the curb where the shadows float, her shoulders bent low beneath autumn's unease. The street lamp above casts a flicker of gold upon the wet asphalt where footprints depart. A quiet observer surveys what is cold and watches the winter take hold of her heart. The river flows silently under the bridge, carrying pieces of yesterday's light. She pauses alone on the concrete ridge and swallows the chill of the midnight. Stay a little longer in the falling dew, like a faded postcard of a love that's through. Even as the traffic turns its silent wheel, her shadow stays behind to feel. Stay a little longer in the midnight air, like a quiet sorrow lingering there. She doesn't shed a tear, she doesn't make a sound, just watches the leaves falling down to the ground. A crumpled cigarette rests in the drain, the neon signs bleed through the gathering haze. She pulls her lapel from the oncoming rain and counts out the steps of her solitary days. The windows of buses are frosted and gray, reflecting the emptiness left in her wake. An old man is watching her drift far away while keeping his distance for quietness' sake. The river flows silently under the bridge, carrying pieces of yesterday's light. She pauses alone on the concrete ridge and swallows the chill of the midnight. Stay a little longer in the falling dew, like a faded postcard of a love that's through. Even as the traffic turns its silent wheel, her shadow stays behind to feel. Stay a little longer in the midnight air, like a quiet sorrow lingering there. She doesn't shed a tear, she doesn't make a sound, just watches the leaves falling down to the ground. If the season could turn back the hours she lost, she might find the warmth in the place she forgot. But time writes its name in the winter's white frost and leaves her alone with the things she has not. The wind sweeps the pavement of Haddam streets, carrying whispers of what used to be. Wherever a lonely traveler meets the tide of a vast and indifferent sea. Stay a little longer in the falling dew, like a faded postcard of a love that's through. Even as the traffic turns its silent wheel, her shadow stays behind to feel. Stay a little longer in the midnight air, like a quiet sorrow lingering there. She doesn't shed a tear, she doesn't make a sound, just watches the leaves falling down to the ground. Rain on the glass, lights in the gray. She turns away and lets it pass.
The color of the light upon the wet asphalt is silver gray like winter turning slow. You left your footprints near the crossing sign, where midnight breezes blow. The branches of the Gingko drop a tear upon the iron bench where we would rest. I trace the empty space beside my hand and quiet my own chest. The seasonal winds turn cold against the glass. I pull my wool collar to my chin. Your shadow lingers by the traffic light, where quiet nights begin. You walk beside me down the empty street, though time has washed the autumn leaves away. The air is heavy with the things we lost that neither of us cared to say. You breathe a chill into the midnight fog, like rusted silver on a slow guitar. I keep your coat buttoned against my heart, beneath the darkened star. The maples on the corner lose their gold into the puddles by the subway stairs. A solitary pigeon shifts its wings and looks for you right there. The street lamp flickers with a tired breath. It casts an amber circle on the floor. I stop and wait for you to catch my step beside the sliding door. The seasonal winds turn cold against the glass. I pull my wool collar to my chin. Your shadow lingers by the traffic light, where quiet nights began. You walk beside me down the empty street, though time has washed the autumn leaves away. The air is heavy with the things we lost that neither of us cared to say. You breathe a chill into the midnight fog, like rusted silver on a slow guitar. I keep your coat buttoned against my heart, beneath the darkened star. If seasons change to wash away the past, then why does every leaf fall toward your feet? Why does the river under Mapo Bridge still whisper your the naked cherry boughs and let the sleet settle in my hair. One breath of wind brings all of you back here into the freezing air. You walk beside me down the empty street, though time has washed the autumn leaves away. The air is heavy with the things we lost that neither of us cared to say. You breathe a chill into the midnight fog like rusted silver on a slow guitar. I keep your coat buttoned against my heart beneath the darkened star. Asphalt after the rain, light on the curb. You are the season left undisturbed.
Why does the autumn wind still blow across the bridges of this sleeping town, when every leaf has touched the street and drifted quietly to the ground? I watch the mist above the stream, where silver water slowly turns, a distant lamp beside the dark, in lonely amber silence burns. I touch the frost upon the glass and trace the path you used to take. The night is deep, the air is cold, with every memory that I break. Stay a little longer in this steady breeze, like falling shadows from the naked trees. Even if the season turns its face, your quiet step leaves still a trace. Stay a little longer while the midnight fades, among the quiet sleeping mountain shades. I do not ask the stars to shine, as long as your cold hand is mine. The river currents pull away beneath the surface of the pale moonlight, a drifting branch of frozen stone, swallowed softly by the night. I walk the path the swallows left before the winter sealed the door, and count the steps of yesterday that lead to your dark face no more. I pull my coat against my chest to keep the damp air from my skin. The night is wide, the street is still, with nothing left for me within. Stay a little longer in this steady breeze, like falling shadows from the naked trees. Even if the season turns its face, your quiet step leaves still a trace. Stay a little longer while the midnight fades, among the quiet sleepy mountain shades. I do not ask the stars to shine, as long as your cold hand is mine. If time could freeze like winter rain upon the surface of the quiet hill, I would remain beside this bank and keep my weary spirit still. Maybe the weather knows our loss, maybe the clouds have learned to weep for every promise left behind, while all the restless city sleeps. Stay a little longer in this steady breeze, like falling shadows from the naked trees. Even if the season turns its face, Your quiet step leaves still a trace. Stay a little longer while the midnight fades, among the quiet, sleepy mountain shades. I do not ask the stars to shine, as long as your cold hand is mine. Wind on the hill, frost in the dark. You are gone, leaving no mark. Chair where she used to lean rests softly against the cold window screen. A calendar hanging on February white is losing its grip in the pale midnight. He watches the river freeze over slow, remembering words from a spring long ago. The breath on the glass turns into a ghost and fades in the room where he misses her most. Winter will come to the silent old street, where shadows of strangers no longer will meet. He sits in the quiet and watches the snow, letting the years and the memories go. Her jacket is draped on the brass iron frame. He listens to winds that keep whispering her name. The tea in his cup has grown bitter and old, while stories of April turn silent and cold. He watches the river freeze over slow, remembering words from a spring long ago. The breath on the glass turns into a ghost and fades in the room where he misses her most. Winter will come to the silent old street, where shadows of strangers no longer will meet. He sits in the quiet and watches the snow, letting the years and the memories go. If seasons could turn backward once in their flight, he would wait by the bridge through the longest night. But time is a current that pulls from the shore and leaves him with silence behind the closed door. Winter will come to the silent old street, where shadows of strangers no longer will meet. He sits in the quiet and watches the snow, letting the years and the memories go. voice on the floor. She is a dream. He waits for no more. A stray leaf resting on the wooden seat, where autumn whispers through the empty street. The midnight tramway passes far away and leaves behind the ghosts of yesterday. The neon signs reflect upon the rain, while quiet shadows trace a path of pain. I sit and watch the pavement turn to glass and wait to see if any moments pass. A heavy coat protects me from the chill. The river flows so silent and so still. I touch the grain of wood where you once stayed and watch the memories slowly start to fade. Stay a little longer in the quiet dark, like a forgotten ember of a spark. Even if the season changes every leaf, I keep the quiet anchor of my grief. Stay a little longer in the misty chill, like a slow river winding past the hill. I do not speak, I only watch the rain and let the quiet night absorb the pain. A paper cup is resting by the curb. A gentle wind begins to softly stir. The street lamp flickers in the autumn haze as I retrace the steps of former days. The river bridge is stretching out ahead, with every word that neither of us said. The silver frost settles upon the ground without a single footstep or a sound. A heavy coat protects me from the chill. The river flows so silent and so still. I touch the grain of wood where you once stayed and watch the memories slowly start to fade. Stay a little longer in the quiet dark, like a forgotten ember of a spark. Even if the season changes every leaf, I keep the quiet anchor of my grief. Stay a little longer in the misty chill, like a slow river winding past the hill. I do not speak, I only watch the rain and let the quiet night absorb the pain. If time could reverse like the turning tide, I would return to sit beside your side. One more hour beneath the changing sky, before the autumn wind goes passing by. Perhaps the winter frost is meant to stay, to wash the traces of our youth away. Yet every dawn that breaks across the stone still finds this weary traveler alone. Stay a little longer in the quiet dark, like a forgotten ember of a spark. Even if the season changes every leaf, I keep the quiet anchor of my grief. Stay a little longer in the misty chill, like a slow river winding past the hill. I do not speak, I only watch the rain and let the quiet night absorb the pain. Leaf on the wood, night in the dark, you are gone, leaving no mark. Why does the winter frost return so soon to freeze the water in a rusted tin? I sit beside a small pine table here and watch the shadows gather thin. I write these lines to the boy I used to know, before the soul nights turned so cold and gray, before the bitter winds began to blow and wash the color of our dreams away. Sleep gently in the corner of my room, where autumn leaves are turning into dust. We traded all our certainty for gloom and let the iron of our promise rust. The tea is cooling in a chipped white cup. I look into the mirror on the wall. I lift my heavy, tired eyelids up and wonder why we had to fall. I write these lines to the boy I used to know, before the soul nights turned so cold and gray, before the bitter winds began to blow and wash the color of our dreams away. Sleep gently in the corner of my room, where autumn leaves are turning into dust. We traded all our certainty for gloom and let the iron of our promise rust. If you could see me sitting in the dark, you would not recognize this hollow chest. We lost the steady burning of our spark and laid our youthful restlessness to rest. Sleep gently in the corner of my room, where autumn leaves are turning into dust. We traded all our certainty for gloom and let the iron of our promise rust. Ashes on the floor, silence at the door. I am older now and nothing more. A small object on the table sits untouched. A dry pine needle dropped from heavy boughs. He watches from across the dimly lit room, where autumn whispers in the quiet house. The window glass collects the silver dew cold front rolling down the mountain steep. He folds his hands and lets the twilight pass, while all the neighborhood has gone to sleep. The heavy clouds above the river bend reflect the shadows of a fading year. He traces lines across the dusty board and counts the frozen moments waiting here. Stay a little longer in the freezing air, like when resting on an empty chair. Even if the season turns to gray, the biting frost refuses to give way. Stay a little longer in the sleepy town, as autumn leaves are slowly drifting down. He does not move, he does not breathe a sigh beneath the gray and melancholy sky. A stray sparrow feathers down upon the ledge against the fading amber of the dusk. The riverbank is locked in iron ice, the autumn air is thick with cedar musk. He tracks the stranger standing in the street, who stops to pull a woolen collar tie, and watches how the stranger turns away before the morning breaks the velvet night. The heavy clouds above the riverbed reflect the shadows of a fading year. He traces lines across the dusty board and counts the frozen moments waiting here. Stay a little longer in the freezing air, like winter resting on an empty chair. Even if the season turns to gray, the biting frost refuses to give way. Stay a little longer in the sleepy town, as autumn leaves are slowly drifting down. He does not move, he does not breathe a sigh beneath the gray and melancholy sky. If weather could be turned by human will, he would freeze the river where it flows. One more hour beneath the falling sleep before the bitter northern weather blows. Perhaps the wind was never meant to stay. Perhaps the storm is just a passing phase. But every dawn that finds him sitting here still binds him to these cold and barren days. Stay a little longer in the freezing air, like winter resting on an empty chair. Even if the season turns to gray, the biting frost refuses to give way. Stay a little longer in the sleepy town, as autumn leaves are slowly drifting down. He does not move, he does not breathe a sigh beneath the gray and melancholy sky. Pine upon the wood, frost upon the stone. He is watching, completely alone. said yesterday sits upon the windowsill. A quiet word you left behind while all the room grew still. The curtains drift in velvet gray against the pane of glass. We watch the amber autumn time without a whisper pass. I touch the walnut mantelpiece where dust begins to settle deep. My friend, the heavy hours arrive and leave us none to keep. Stay a little longer by this faded indoor light, like shadows stretching softly through the middle of the night. Even if the season turns and takes away the floor, your steady presence lingers just behind the chamber door. Stay a little longer in the stillness of the room, where quiet corners gather up the early evening gloom. I do not raise my voice at all, I let the silence stay, while all the ghosts of yesterday refuse to fade away. A cup of water sits untouched beside the iron grate. The copper kettle cools itself and whispers that it's late. You used to sit across from me and count the fallen leaves, and watch the shadows lengthen from the wooden cottage eaves. I fold my hands upon my knees and stare into the floor. My friend, the winter frost is resting heavy on the door. Stay a little longer by this faded indoor light, like shadows stretching softly through the middle of the night. Even if the season turns and takes away the floor, your steady presence lingers just behind the chamber door. Stay a little longer in the stillness of the room, where quiet corners gather up the early evening gloom. I do not raise my voice at all, I let the silence stay, while all the ghosts of yesterday refuse to fade away. If I could lock the wooden door and keep the wind outside, we would not need a place to run, we would not need to hide. One more hour beside the stove, where amber embers glow. One more truth about the path we had to let things go. Maybe nature never meant for leaves to stay green long. Maybe time is just a quiet note inside an older song. But every dawn that finds me here beside the window frame still speaks your quiet friendship and remembers well your name. Stay a little longer by this faded indoor light, like shadows stretching softly through the middle of the night. Even if the season turns and takes away the floor, your steady presence lingers just behind the
the chamber door. Stay a little longer in the stillness of the room, where quiet corners gather of the early evening gloom. I do not raise my voice at all, I let the silence stay, while all the ghosts of yesterday refuse to fade away. Dust on the floor, chill in the air. You are gone, my friend, you are not there.
A brass key left upon the granite stair. Who dropped this iron cold into the rain? A stranger passing asks me why I stare at something small that carries so much pain. The street lamp flickers on the wet gray floor. The midnight wind is blowing through the trees. I stand and look toward the subway door and wrap my coat against the freezing breeze. The stranger pauses by the iron gate and turns to watch the water fill the street. We share a silence while we watch and wait, with heavy sorrow resting at our feet. Stay a little longer in the quiet night, beneath the glow of faded yellow light. The season turns and leaves us here alone, a brass key resting on a cold gray stone. Shadows fall against the damp and peeling station wall. I do not speak, you do not ask me why. We watch the autumn clouds drift slowly by. A paper cup is rolling down the block. A rusted cart is parked beside the curb. The second hand moves slowly on the clock. No other sound is here to break or disturb. The stranger looks at me and shakes their head as if they know the story in my chest, about the words we never got to say, and how the aching never lets us rest. The stranger pauses by the iron gate and turns to watch the water fill the street. We share a silence while we watch and wait, with heavy sorrow resting at our feet. Stay a little longer in the quiet night, beneath the glow of faded yellow light. The season turns and leaves us here alone, a brass key resting on a cold gray stone. Stay a little longer as the shadows fall against the damp and peeling station wall. I do not speak, you do not ask me why. We watch the autumn clouds drift slowly by. If seasons change,
change to wash away the past, then why does winter linger in the bone? This quiet hour is all we have that's last. Two lonely figures standing in the zone. You turn away and vanish in the mist. I leave the key right where it always lay. Some moments vanish even when dismissed, and time simply carries them away. Stay a little longer in the quiet night, beneath the glow of faded yellow light. The season turns and leaves us here alone. A brass key resting on a cold gray stone. Oh, stay a little longer as the shadows fall against the damp and peeling station wall. I do not speak, you do not ask me why. We watch the autumn clouds drift slowly by. Rain on the stone, key in the dark. Another season leaves its mark.
Against the damp and darkened glass, I watch a stranger walk the avenue and wonder if you ever used to pass. The street lamps flicker in the misty air, a yellow glow upon the heavy ground. The autumn chill is settling in my bones without a single word or turning sound. I trace the mist that lingers on the pane and let the quiet settle in my chest. The season changes with a heavy sigh and leaves my tired spirit with no rest. Walk a little softer down the empty street, where shadows and the pavement softly meet. Even if the wind is turning cold, your story is a secret left untold. Walk a little slower in the midnight chill. The city sleeps, but my regrets stand still. I do not speak, I do not raise my voice, leaving all the sorrow as my choice. Sticks against a metal grate beside the curb where taxis used to wait. The branches stretch across the indigo with nothing left for either of us to stay. I see a figure standing near the curb, just waiting for a bus that will not come. They pull their collar high against the frost while midnight keeps its steady silent drum. I trace the mist that lingers on the pane and let the quiet settle in my chest. The season changes with a heavy sigh and leaves my tired spirit with no rest. Walk a little softer down the empty street, where shadows and the pavement softly meet. Even if the wind is turning cold, your story is a secret left untold. Walk a little slower in the midnight chill. The city sleeps, but my regrets stand still. I do not speak, I do not raise my voice, leaving all the sorrow as my choice. If time could reverse itself upon this stone, I would leave the alleyway and walk alone. Before the autumn wind began to freeze, before the frost had gathered on the trees. Maybe every season has a price to pay, taking all the warmth of yesterday, leaving just a cold and empty hands walking slowly through these fading lands. Walk a little softer down the empty street, where shadows and the pavement softly meet. Even if the wind is turning cold, your story is a secret left untold. Walk a little slower in the midnight chill. The city sleeps, but my regrets stand still. I do not speak, I do not raise my voice, leaving all the sorrow as my choice. Cold rain on the street, darkness in the air, another season gone, and you not there. The texture of fabric against my heavy coat, a cold autumn wind blowing down the dark street, the river water moving slowly in the night, where two people used to walk and share their heat. The bare branches scratch against the smoky sky. A thin mist rises from the asphalt below. I keep my hands deep inside my pockets now, and watch the distant traffic lights move slow. Stay a little longer in the chilly air, like a fallen leaf that settles everywhere. Even though the season turns and slips away, your quiet shadow still decides to stay. Stay a little longer in this autumn rain, like a quiet ache that has no name or pain. I do not speak, I do not raise my voice. To lose your memory was never my choice. A stray cat wanders past the darkened station door. The amber street lights flicker on the damp stone. The wind carries whispers from a distant shore, leaves me standing on the corner all alone. The gray clouds gather low above the mountainside. A steady drizzle taps against my leather brim. Nowhere left for a broken heart to hide, the soul skyline grows so very dim. Stay a little longer in the chilly air, like a fallen leaf that settles everywhere. Even though the season turns and slips away, your quiet shadow still decides to stay. Stay a little longer in this autumn rain, like a quiet ache that has no name or pain. I do not speak, I do not raise my voice. To lose your memory was never my choice. If the frost could freeze the sorrow in my chest, if the winter wind could sweep the past away, maybe this tired soul could finally find some rest, instead of waiting for a dawn that brings no day. The fallen Gingko leaves turn black upon the street, just like the promises we failed to keep. Stay a little longer in the
it settles everywhere. Even though the season turns and slips away, your quiet shadow still decides to stay. Stay a little longer in this autumn rain, like a quiet ache that has no name or pain. I do not speak, I do not raise my voice to lose your memory. Was never my choice. Wind on the river, leaves in the street. You are gone in the dark and the wet.
Sound from the street of a late engine turning, a draft through the window of old cedar wood. I sit by the table where paper is burning and think of the seasons we understood. The curtains are heavy with dust from the summer. The floorboards are quiet beneath my soft shoe. I wait in the room for a slow coming slumber and trace out the shadows that point back to you. I touch the cold glass where the frost is beginning. My breath leaves a circle that slowly turns gray. I listen to clocks that are endlessly spinning and watch every hour slip silently away. Stay a little longer in this quiet room, like falling pine needles that soften the gloom. Even if the season has turned and is cold, your voice is a story that never grows old. Like shadows that stretch at the edge of the night. I don't call your name, I just look at the floor and wish you were walking back through my door. A cup on the saucer has left a dark ring. The water is silent inside of the glass. I listen for voices the night winds might bring, and watch all the distant headlights as they pass. The walls of this apartment are narrow and dusty. The calendar page has not changed in a week. The hinge on the closet is heavy and rusty and tells me the words that I cannot yet speak. I touch the cold glass where the frost is beginning. My breath leaves a circle that slowly turns gray. I listen to clocks that are endlessly spinning and watch every hour slip silently away. The season has turned and is cold. Your voice is a story that never grows old. Stay a little longer in the gray autumn light, like shadows that stretch at the edge of the night. I don't call your name, I just look at the floor and wish you were walking back through my door.
If the wind from the mountain could carry my sorrow, it might find your window before the sun breaks. I live in the space between today and tomorrow, and count every quiet decision it takes. The maple leaves wither and drop to the pavement. The river runs steady and dark in the chill. I harbor no anger, I seek no abatement. I just want your shadow to rest on the sill. Stay a little longer in this quiet room, like falling pine needles that soften the gloom. Even if the season has turned and is cold, your voice is a story that never grows old. Stay a little longer in the gray autumn light, like shadows that stretch at the edge of the night. I don't call your name, I just look at the floor and wish you were walking back through my door. Ashes in the tray, shadows on the wall. Winter comes around without a sound.
Why does the silver spoon beside your empty bowl still catch the shadow of the lamp in this cold room? I watch it lying where your fingers let it fall, before the silence filled up every empty loom. The steam has risen from the mug you left behind and turned to water on the graying porcelain. I traced the circle where your hand had rested long, while outside shadows lengthen in the falling rain. I feel the autumn moving through the window pane. It carries nothing that my hands can never hold. I speak your name into the quiet empty space and watch the breath dissolve before the air turns cold. Stay a little longer in this quiet room, like silver light across the fading autumn gloom. Even if your steps have turned another way, your shadow lingers where the shadows softly stay. Stay a little longer in the midnight chill, like quiet water on a distant granite sill. I do not reach to push the heavy dark away. I let the memory of your quiet presence stay. The Gingko leaves are sticking to the asphalt street, beneath the flicker of a yellow corner light. I see a stranger walking with your gentle step, then vanishing into the heavy soul night. The heavy velvet curtain keeps the wind outside. It barely trembles as the traffic passes low. I sit and listen to the floorboards breathe their age, and count the minutes that are taking you so slow. I wear my quiet like a heavy winter coat. It keeps the chill from reaching any deeper part. Your image settles on the surface of my side, just like a coin dropped in the bottom of my heart. Stay a little longer in this quiet room, like
another way. Your shadow lingers where the shadows softly stay. Stay a little longer in the midnight chill, like quiet water on a distant granite sill. I do not reach to push the heavy dark away. I let the memory of your quiet presence stay. If time would stop its turning on this rusty gear, I would remain beside this cold, unvarnished wood. One more hour of watching where your fingers touch, living inside the silence as we always should. Maybe the season changes whether we agree. Maybe the rivers always find another sea. But every midnight finds me sitting right beside the silver spoon that you forgot to leave to me. Stay a little longer in this quiet room, like silver light across the fading autumn gloom. Even if your steps have turned another way, your shadow lingers where the shadows softly stay. Stay a little longer in the midnight chill, like quiet water on a distant granite sill. I do not reach to push the heavy dark away. I let the memory of your quiet presence stay.